Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Wake up, everybody. Wake up.
Hey, how you feeling, bro?
Hey, man. I'm here. Oh, yeah, I'm here.
You here?
I am here. It is time. It is really time. And I'm sitting here on a Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening.
You know today is Thursday, right?
What?
Today is Thursday.
Man, I'm lost. I thought it was Saturday. Hey, when you are retired, the days just run together. It just feels like Saturday to me. I don't know why,
I
but
feel you. I feel you.
it feels like Saturday. I don't know why. Man, you're right. Today is Thursday. Man. People, all you folks out there who working 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 and all of that, and you all are looking and say, man, I sure be happy when I retire. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to enjoy myself. Well, just consider this, that when you do, after a while, every every day gonna be the same.
Pretty much.
It's a whole new experience, people, and all you folks who are retirees, y'all know what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm talking about, and it's a joy to wake up every day. And I have been in contact with a lot of my friends and stuff who are still trying to work, and they say they don't know what they're gonna do when they retire, and they are afraid to retire because they're gonna start going to seed. But I tell them all the time, I got all kinds of stuff to do. I'm looking around my office here, and I can think of 1,000 things that I could be doing right now. But you just have to put all things and prioritize what you're doing and stay diligent.
Well, those people, that's out there, they don't want to hear about what you've been doing in your retirement. They want to hear about what we got.
Oh.
They want to hear what's going on.
Well,
Here,
there's
how
a
can I
lot.
learn something and get some information?
There's a lot going on. Uh, I was talking to my wife this morning, and she was telling me about a lot of her friends and stuff who passed away and all this other stuff, and she said, the Lord left us here for a reason. We're here for a purpose. So this is our purpose right here.
Well, one of them anyway. One of them.
One of them, yeah. That's our purpose. I concentrate, Ted, on a lot of about this going on here. I'm building up this whole thing and everything so we can have more things going on, more people and stuff that we can bring on and talk to, and other ways and stuff of giving out information to the people who are out there who are listening to us. So this thing occupies at least 3-4 hours of my time a day. Now
That's a lot.
I may not be doing anything, but I've been deep thought.
Well, I mean, I'm always thinking about it. I went to the library today and
You went
did
to
a
the
little
library. I
research.
thought you didn't go out very much.
I don't, but I want to go to the library. I've been to the library in years. Well, I take that back, maybe a couple of years. But that was my mainstay, the library. I just love libraries, museums, you know, and you go in there and they got all kind of resources for you. Books, so much, man. I just feel energetic.
Breaking
But
news. Breaking news just went across. Mike Gatz took
oh
his
yeah,
name away.
yeah,
Attorney General. Okay, you
yeah,
know
he
about it. Go
withdrew.
ahead.
Your Google
He
Home isn't set
withdrew.
up yet. To
Um,
get started, download the Google
so
Home
I
app on
ran
your phone or
into
tablet.
a old newspaper that I used to go through a few years back. It's been around for 102 years. The copy I got was 102 and issued 46. I don't know if they do a weekly, a monthly, every 2 weeks or 3 days a week. I don't know how they run the paper, but it's a Spanish paper.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got some articles in there, English as well. However, I was looking at the ads, very slim pickings, bro. No national ads, no car ads. Now, but a lot of articles that were written in Spanish and a few written in English. And the one that I read is called Making America Florida. Did you hear what I said?
I don't know if I
Making
would want America to look like Florida, really.
Making
Go ahead.
America Florida. And it was by a guy named Matt Newton. He writes a column, I guess, obviously, in that newspaper, and he calls it the reasonable standard. And I glanced through the article, and he was just talking about how our current governor, is running the state. And he was basically saying that Trump would be a wise person or do the right thing and run Florida, run the United States like this governor runs Florida. In other words, don't do nothing. And then cause a whole lot of chaos.
Well, he's doing something there. He's causing a lot of chaos.
He
But
fired
he,
2 district attorneys. One got voted back in. He then fought with Disneyland and one of the major financial tourism attractions in the world. It brings hundreds of thousands, if not billions of dollars into the Florida. He's don't talk about raising the insurance is just going out of whack. Never heard him have a conversation about that. And a lot of people are hurting because of the hurricanes. There are people that are still hurting in the last 3 hurricanes. Now, there's a lot of building going on that he's given permission, these different parts of the state. A lot of high rises and apartment complexes, developments and all that. But anyway, I just wanted to bring up that it's called La Garcia, LAGRCETA, La Garcia. And it's been around for a long time.
Interesting that he thought that Trump should run the country like he's running Florida. It's very interesting that he would say that, knowing that he lives in Florida and he's been there since your current governor and stuff has been in office, and that's what going on 6-7 years and stuff now, and what he has done. So I find it very interesting, Ted, that a lot of people look at this man and gives him that respect that we just can't fathom. And I know that you guys living there in Florida, and you are not very, very proud of Ron DeSantis, especially in a lot of Black communities and stuff. They are not very fond of him. And some of the professionals down there, I'm pretty sure the teachers and stuff and everything are really upset with him about how he is trying to direct them and how they should be teaching the kids and stuff there, and then taking away, banning books and stuff in school and libraries and stuff like that. That's kind of a, I
Not
don't even
only
know.
that, he banned African American studies.
Hmm.
But you know who has studies? Asians have studies.
Who was that?
This is what I'm talking about in the state. The Asians have their studies. The Latinos have their studies.
Hmm. But he banned it African American studies, huh?
Correct.
Taking away your history. But like I said, I'll get back to it's very interesting that he would say that he approves of what DeSantis is doing there in the state. But I guess there must be a big majority of folks and stuff there in Florida who approve of him because they put him in for a second term.
Yeah, and
Uh,
he won a large margin despite we had a hurricane in South Florida, and somehow he won by 1 million votes.
yeah. Well, it also could have meant that he had
And prior to that, we know that he barely won by 50,000 votes.
right, and like I said, it could have meant that his quality, the quality of the candidate who would run against him wasn't very, very good.
He was good. He was a governor. He was a past governor.
Oh man, they after he left their governorship, man, they've been throwing him around like a rag doll. I
Yeah,
forget
he
his
was
name,
a
but I know
U.S.
who you're talking about.
congressperson. So I don't know what he's doing now. I forget his name, but
I forget his
very
name
nice
too,
guy.
but I know who you were talking about. He was a Democrat.
Well, he was a Republican, you know,
Mm.
and he changed his party, especially when Trump kind of got in. But anyway, a couple of things I'm going to mention before I get to this Spanish thing, because I'm still not through with Spain. You mentioned the shadow government.
Right.
Well, there was an article I read in Barron's, which is a business newspaper. And the guy that they was talking about saying that this is what Trump should do, his name is Scott Benson, CEO of micro hedge fund Key, Square Capital. The article was written by Matt Peterson, or I should say Patterson. And he said that forget the head of the Fed. Forget the head of the Fed. Just appoint somebody and just ignore him. And just, he'll be your man. You can't fire him because he's still under contract. I think he got another 2 years, don't he? Or whatever, I don't know. But the bottom line is, he just said, forget him. Don't even pay no attention to them.
It's
These people are
ironic.
insane.
Well, not insane. You have to consider that though these people out here who are supposed to be leaders and stuff of this country, and they have decided to uh, enforce their will and their opinions and stuff upon the people here in this country. And like I said before, if the Supreme Court is only 9 people and they pass down a judgment, if the country said, forget you, I'm not going to follow what you say, then where does their power lie? It's as easy as saying, I'm not going to follow it and keep on going and doing what they were doing. How are they going to stop them? They just 9 justices with a black robe on. That's how their power is. And when you start uh, putting forth ideas or whatever that is tantamount against a lot of people, at some point in time and everything, your decisions and stuff that you make and everything, people don't have to follow them. Almost like I was saying about uh, these states and stuff with these Democratic governors and stuff in them, these huge states that have a lot of money that goes into the federal government. And right now, uh, Gavin Newsom is touching upon that thing where he is taking away the power and stuff because he's passing legislation in the state of California that is tantamount and totally against the uh, Project 2025. And he says that we're going to do this to protect ourselves from the federal government. So he's taken a step to stop this stuff and everything within his state that he has the power and stuff in. And uh, can the federal government come in and actually stop him from doing it? Probably not. Didn't they have sanctuary cities in California?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also in California, you know what they said? We're not going to help ICE.
Hey, they did that too. During that time, they did that. They wasn't going to help ICE. And they couldn't force them to do it. Almost like the federal government couldn't stop them from legalizing marijuana. Colorado said, we're going to legalize marijuana. And it's against the federal law. And they couldn't stop them. So the federal government and the folks and stuff who run the federal government and stuff need to understand just because you're the federal government doesn't mean that these states are going to follow behind you in lockstep. And I do believe that if Newsom, I think this is his last term and stuff and everything, so he really can't do anything about it. But whoever else comes in behind him, they got a big stick to tell the federal government, we're not going to do this. And what they're going to do, hey, that's their shadow government that I'm talking about. Okay. Anyway, go ahead. You had something to say.
Well, one of the things that we was talking about is the Vatican. But I don't want to talk about the Vatican right now. I want to talk about what's going on in Mexico and then the migration here, because majority of the people in these Latin countries are Catholic. Now, here's the deal. You have a population of Mexico of 130 million people. You know how many Catholics there are? 98 million.
That's
You
I
have
can I can imagine that. Yep.
131 million, and over 90 million of them are Catholic,
Okay.
practicing Catholic people.
Right.
And here's the thing: the Vatican, what they did was in Mexico, they have so many parishes there, 220,000 Catholic parishes. Well, I'll take that back. I'm gonna correct myself. Oh, and why am I correcting myself? Yesterday I made a statement that Spain demographics is going to go down from 46 to 33 in
hmm
2030. It's not 2030, it's 2099.
Oh man, that's a long time. Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead. That's a big
because
difference.
of the birth rate and all that stuff. And but they have, let's see if I can find it. They have something like, they got thousands of priests, 15,700, over almost 98,000 Catholics. They have 10,000 parishes and 133 bishops. And now, why am I bringing that up? The reason why is, what is one of the main things that they're against?
They're
The
against
number
women.
one,
They're against women being leaders.
two things. But number one is abortion.
Right.
And number two, they believe in the hierarchy.
Right.
Women is the
Women as
second
the
class citizen.
right. They have to take second spot behind the man.
So when you have over 60% of the Latino community voting for Trump,
Mm-hmm.
and that includes a lot of the women as well.
Mm-hmm.
There it is, right there, bro.
Because they're gonna follow their men. They have to if their man if in the Spanish household, if whatever the man says, the women follow. Whatever the men say, the women follow that. And uh you, if I'm going around and looking at the statistics, I would say that spousal abuse and stuff within those dynamics and stuff is very high. Their spousal abuse is probably in the 40 to 50% range, maybe higher, if I had to guess. And most of them probably don't even report it. They don't even say anything about it. It's just a norm within the household.
And no doubt, child abuse as well.
Absolutely. So
Here's the thing.
those. So what you were saying is that those dynamics and stuff had an influence upon their voting pattern here in this country. Okay.
Because who did Trump was after? He was after the white Christian nationalists.
hmm
And he got what, 80% of that vote?
Well, in actuality, to every Republican that I can remember, all the way from Bush 2, used the church and stuff to help them to attain their seat up in power in the White House. Bush did it for 2 years for his two terms. Trump did it his first term. He went after those white evangelicals, and that's how they got into power. So I would suspect that the white evangelicals and stuff to the Republican Party is just like black folks is to the Democratic Party. They are going to put a Republican in office. Uh, uh, I wanted, I was hoping that maybe that you had did a little bit more study there in Mexico, because what you just said and everything holds true a lot. But guess what? They just elected a woman president. There's a woman who is the president of Mexico.
Is she Mexican?
She's in Mexico. She's the president of Mexico. She just got elected about a year ago.
She's supposed to be some other nationality.
I don't know, but she is the president of Mexico, a woman. That's why I was hoping that you would delve a little bit deeper and stuff
Well, I don't know
into
if you
that.
want me to go into their
No, but
politics
really,
of it all,
really,
but
really, I wanted to really I wanted to find out what is the economic status and stuff there in Mexico. How are they faring as far as their GDP? How are they faring as far
well,
as
we talked
keeping?
about that a few weeks ago. We
Not
went into
Mexico,
detail.
not
Yeah,
Mexico.
it was
We did.
Mexico. Yeah,
I don't
we
remember.
talked about their GDP and their employment rate and all of that stuff. Mexico is doing very well. They're doing very well because they have a number of American companies and other international companies. As far as that goes, a lot of their cities are doing well. So, it's not like they walking around in poverty. You got, like I said, you got these different class systems. And like I said, a lot of those Mexicans that come across here, those are mixed with Indians. They're not mixed with Spanish people.
Those are the poor folks,
Right.
the ones on the bottom.
And then you had a lot of African people that escaped to Mexico because that was a big thing back in slavery days. The Mexicans couldn't stand America because they did slavery. And so there were some black folks that migrated to Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
African people.
Mm-hmm.
So, the history is so convoluted, and, you would have to go to their museums because Mexico has some of the greatest museums in the world, history and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is that, we don't learn all of their history and how so many Indians migrated there, so many Africans migrated there, so many Spaniards migrated there. And so it's really complicated. And so, but the point is that you only got 131 million people there. And 98 million people are Catholic.
Right.
And when you have that kind of strong ideology, you bring that same ideology here. Regardless of the party that's going to help you, they think they're standing on the right thing. They don't realize that America is a free country. And just because you think you got a strong man in the White House, don't mean that you're going to have freedom.
Well, I don't think that most of them were looking at the fact and stuff that they would be free. They were looking at the fact that he was a man and she was a woman.
Like I said, that's a large part of it.
And those dynamics and stuff were prevalent and stuff in the Puerto Ricans and stuff community and stuff up until he he had that they call them the garbage island or the shithole island or something, everything. And right after that, that's when they start rising up. But before that, they were voting for him in big numbers, early voting and everything.
Well, you have to, one thing for sure though, you have to realize that we have all kinds of Hispanics in America now
Mm-hmm.
from all over Central America. So that is right there. And really, like I said, there's a map that's been drawn, and they were showing that the population of the more people that are involved in California, there's over 30%, 35% Latino. Texas, over 35% Latino. Here in Florida, 35% Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Texas, California, Florida, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Arizona. So the point is that a lot of white folks are on the edge too because they're seeing more Latinos.
And that's why they're talking 2 to 3 million people are being deported.
They're talking about 10 million, bro.
Well, they started out with 2 to 3 million, and then someone said, "Well, it might be more than that," but they're looking at 2 to 3 million right now, immediately. I
Well, they're not going to stop the flow, bro. They're not going to stop the flow. They can't stop the flow.
they can close them borders down.
Until they get a strict immigration law, it's not going to happen. And then you have that asylum. A lot of these people have coming from all kinds of war-torn countries and what have you. So that's the law. People
They
have the
don't.
right to
They
come
don't.
here based on that.
When
That's how a lot of
and
Russians came here.
and the last time that Trump was in power, Mr. Miller didn't care about asylum. They locked up a lot of folks and stuff. They came across them border, including children. They didn't care, and they didn't care what the judges and stuff said. They locked them folks up. So I believe that if he did that in 2016 to till the end of their term and stuff, I'm pretty sure that they're not going to worry about any courts and stuff telling them that they can't do it because of those laws, about asylum. I don't believe that they're going to do that. They're going to stop. They've learned their lesson and everything, and Mr. Miller is going to be, oh, you're going to be ruthless because they've already said the American people gave them the green light to do this. And they believe that 60 to 70% of the American people want them folks out of this country. They got the green light, and nobody's
Well,
going to
that's
stop them.
fine, but like I said, there's 75 million Hispanics in this country.
They're going to get rid of a whole lot of them. A whole lot of them are leaving, including them African folks and them folks from the islands. They're in their group too. So it won't just be the brown folks. There's going to be a lot of black people and stuff leaving too. All them TPS folks. So anyway, yeah, I'm just we need to be on the lookout and stuff to watch and see what the heck is happening. Uh Medicare. I've been going through these laws and stuff for Medicare. And Ted, it is a black hole. It is a black hole. I have no idea how our senior citizens are going to be able to traverse after January the 1st. A lot of their laws, a lot of the things that they're doing changes. Matter of fact, they've already started changing them right now. And starting in October, they start changing them, but it hasn't affected a lot of people and stuff right now because they're just going out and getting medicine, and they at the end of their cycle and stuff and everything, where most of them have paid off their deductibles and everything. But starting in January, man, the crap's going to hit the fan. It is a mess, and it is a huge, huge, huge mess. And I don't even think anybody in Medicare knows what the heck is going on. It is, ooh. You have Part D, which pays for your medicine. Most of those folks there are gonna have to be doctors before they understand what the heck's going on, because they don't put a tier program and stuff out there for medicine. Depending on what kind of medicine you get and everything is how they cover that medicine. There are 3 tiers out there, 3 basic tiers, but they're getting ready to add a couple of more tiers out there. And if your medicine is in this tier, then you're going to pay a lot less. If it's on this lower tier, if it's on the upper tier, you're going to pay a lot more for your medicine. But they have not even gotten all the medicine and stuff that's out there in this program. So when you go to your doctor and he orders you a prescription, you have no idea when you go to the pharmacy what you're going to be paying. It is going to be a horrible mess. And when the Affordable Care Act came into being, the Obama administration negotiated with the insurance companies to put Medicare first. Soon as you became Medicare eligible, if you had insurance and stuff, then Medicare always pays first, and then the insurance companies paid afterwards. Now, in January, they're changing that. Your insurance has to be first, and Medicare pays second.
Well, that's something that everybody's crossed the bear, bro. All of us, in that vein.
But it all depends on what kind of insurance you got, because there's some criteria in there as far as your insurance. Who carries your insurance, and how you retired. This is going to be a mess, man. I'm telling you, it is going to be a mess come January 1st.
Well, we haven't received our new book yet.
I know it.
First. So once that comes out, then we'll know exactly each person who's on Medicare, and then you have another company to supplement or whatever. Then you just have to read that book carefully. I mean, and go from there and figure out a way to get the cheapest medicine that you can.
Well, you may not have a choice and stuff, because if you have a medicine that the doctor prescribes to you and it hasn't reached that 25-year lifespan and stuff, there is no generic medicine and stuff for it. So you're going to have to go out and buy the actual medicine and stuff for it, because there's no generic alternative and stuff for it. It's a mess. I'm telling you, man, I looked at this stuff, it's a mess. And you may not get your book to it, because they're asking folks and stuff to go online and pull down that book. You can go online and pull your book down right now.
For 2025.
Right.
What else you got?
ESRD. You have any idea what that is?
ESRD.
ESRD.
I have no idea.
End-stage renal disease.
Now,
That's
why are you
when,
talking about that?
because there are a lot of folks out there now who kidneys and stuff are failing them. And I didn't know this at the time, but even if you are not of Medicare age, if you have ESRD, you can get Medicare. If your kidneys fail you and you are a teenager, they will put you on Medicare. I didn't know that. I had no idea that they did that. I thought you had to be 65 to get Medicare. This is one area and stuff that that I don't know when they started it, but I just read it today and stuff that you have ESRD, you can get on Medicare if your kidneys is failing you, or if you're getting a kidney transplant. They will put you on Medicare. All you folks out there, you hear that? That's why I brought it up. Man, I done wrote down so many notes about Medicare and what's going on. It's just a horrible shame, man. I just threw my hands up and said, this is going to be an absolute mess, and I have no idea, Ted, how our senior citizens are going to be able to tread through this mess, because they've changed a whole lot of stuff, and it brought me to the fact and everything that all these people that Trump is trying to bring in and say that they're going to change the federal government is in for a big surprise. They are not going to be able to do what they plan on doing in those 4 years.
Well, time will tell, bro, on that. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah, almost anything that has to do with changing the federal government, they're not going to be able to do it in 4 years. The federal government is a absolute behemoth, and there's no way them folks who aren't experts and stuff in dealing with the federal government can get in there and do anything about it. I'm telling you,
That's why
all them knuckleheads that he's gotten, that he's appointing, that have no idea about what the heck is going on there, is not going to be able to change that, because it is an absolute mess.
well,
there are
say
so
mess.
many
I say
rules and regulations. Go ahead.
you say mess, and I say that the one thing that probably, if you ever work for any kind of municipal, whether it's local, state, federal, a lot of things happens because you have knuckleheads. They call themselves, and I'm gonna put it just like it is, they're racist. They will approve certain things for certain people and not approve it for other people. That's why the government, corporate world, all want diversity, so that you don't have these types of people that's working for the government or corporate world because they have some kind of feeling about other people. And they don't want them to get their share. That's just the way it is. You know, you can have a supervisor and 75% of those people trying to do the right thing, and the supervisor or the manager is going to null and void it because he can do that or she can do that. So when you say it's a lot of times things don't work, is because you got the wrong people in charge. And because the system, if you ever been in the system like I have, it works. I've been very blessed and fortunate enough to realize that there are a lot of good people out there that's trying to do the right things, but there's a lot of people out there that's trying to just none and void a lot of things that people should be getting their issues is. And the reason why is because I just say it like it is. I got a smart wife. You know, she know how to work it. So
Well,
so the
she
point
can,
is
she can,
that
she
it
can
takes a
stand,
lot,
she
man.
can, she can stand right in there with my wife too with that thing because she persistent about a lot of stuff too. She's navigated us through our healthcare system and stuff for 4 or 5 years and stuff, and I just let her do her thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. That's the whole thing in a nutshell, that
but
you have
what
to take
about
that initiative.
right? But everybody out there, Ted. I'm telling you, man, if there are older people out there that don't have the advantages and stuff that we have. They don't. They don't have the
Find
folks
somebody.
around.
Find somebody.
Most of them can't because it is an absolute mess. An absolute mess.
Well, I'm not gonna say that.
Yes, it
It's
is.
just that the system, you have to work the system, and sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. It's not perfect. But I'm gonna tell you, you're talking about over 350 million people in the
I'm
healthcare system.
I'm
And any
talking.
given day, there are millions of people in the hospital.
Yeah, and I'm talking about those and stuff, Ted, who aren't as fortunate as we are.
Well, we
That's my
already
point.
know
Yeah.
that. That right there is that's a
That's what
given, right, bro.
I'm making them aware that this is there, this is out there, and it is an absolute mess because it's mind-boggling to me how they're able to keep this daggone thing going. And you're right, there are good people and stuff out there who will take care of good people. If you got certain people and stuff in certain positions and stuff, they can reach out to them and say, "Hey, I need this, I need that," or "Hey, girlfriend, hey, brother, I need this," and they'll say, "Oh, okay, don't worry about it."
But
And
if
they'll
you don't ask,
push that button.
it ain't gonna happen.
Right. And they can push that button and everything and you taken care of.
You gotta
and,
call
and,
people
and,
up.
and it happens to me just about every other day, Ted. There's something going on and I'll be
Ed,
out there with folks and
Ed,
push that button.
let me tell you something, bro. You have hundreds, if not thousands, of organizations that deal with nothing but healthcare. Nonprofit organizations out there.
You done already picked him a new attorney general.
Who?
Trump.
Who?
Your attorney general there in Florida. Pat Bondi or whatever her name is.
Oh, that little blonde thing?
He done picked her. It just came across the wire. He just picked her.
She ain't gonna get approved either.
He just picked her. He said Florida Attorney General Pat Bondi is his new pick.
He got
just
all kind of issues.
he pulling rabbits out of a hat, man. He just pulling rabbits out of a hat. These people ain't gonna be able to handle it, man. They can't handle their job. They're not gonna be able to handle it. Even if they get through confirmation, they're not gonna be able to handle it. They got to get through confirmation. I don't care what he says. They got to be confirmed. The Senate is not gonna let him bypass confirmation, even though they're Republicans there. He got to send them through confirmation.
Man, this man, he is such a ignoramus, man. He can't be putting non-serious people in these offices. That woman ain't serious, bro.
Hey,
And she don't have
he owe her something.
capacity.
She must owe her something, or somebody owe him something. So as soon as the man say he leaving out there, oh, okay, I want her.
Well, she helped Christie run this so-called drug thing. With all those pills and all that stuff. That's what they did, when he first got in office. And I don't know what happened, what came of it, but I don't know why he should have picked Christie. And Christie he gonna try to be fair, but he ain't gonna take no mess. He should have picked Christie. That's who he should have picked. But getting on to the Vatican. You
getting
with the
close here,
healthcare
buddy.
thing, or you got some more?
Huh?
You got some more stuff with the healthcare?
No, I'm letting you know that we about at our final word time. So go ahead. And we getting close, man. Time is rolling by here. I don't know what's going on, but it just rolls by.
Well, I don't know why you're so concerned about the time, bro.
Because we have to keep it within an hour, man. Because we want to be professional about this. An hour. Everybody keeps their show.
Well, I mean, it's your time. I mean, but like I said, we ain't on no time schedule.
I know it, but
let me say this. The Vatican, they have an annual budget of $300 to $400 million.
Who does?
The Vatican.
Okay.
That's their annual budget.
$300 to $400 million or billion?
Million. That's almost $500 million. But they have assets. Bank manages assets of 5.7 billion. They cannot really give you a total amount what they're actually worth. And I'm thinking that they're probably worth well over $2 trillion.
Maybe more than that. They probably got assets and stuff in this country that might be worth $1 trillion. Just in the United States alone.
Yeah. And they all over the world.
Property values that they own.
They all over the world. They own a lot of property.
Because these people, those parishioners and
they
stuff,
probably second to Europe.
Right. Their parishioners will pass away and they will leave half their fortunes and stuff to the Catholic Church. So they may not even, in the United States, may not even know how much they own and how much value it is. Valuable properties. They probably own stuff and everything that we don't even know about. They don't even know about.
Yeah. Hey, here's the thing. The stock market is booming. Booming, bro. It even picked up another 6% since Trump got elected. Because people, there was some profit taking for a minute. And then they say, oh, everybody's doing fine. Everybody's making money. They start doing all the price indexes and stuff and how much money did they make their mark. And a lot of them made their mark. And even Nvidia didn't make their mark, but it turned around. People started buying it anyway. So, and that's a $3 trillion corporation now. The fastest growing ever that reached $1 trillion. Now it's almost 3 trillion, if it's not 3 trillion. But here's the top 7. They call it the Magnificent Seven, Ed. And you probably even know it. You can say them from the top of your head. It's Tesla, Meta, Alphabet, Microsoft, Nvidia, Apple, and Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
These people, I'm talking about these money manager people, they plan on those. That's how the stock market is always bumping up. Because most of them is playing in and out on those guys. And their stock is just steadily rising.
And guess what? All those people who own those companies and stuff gave Trump millions of dollars to win that election.
Oh yeah.
You name, I can name at least 3 of those companies and stuff that you name and stuff who gave him over $100 million or more.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Gave him a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And their stock went up.
Yeah. And gave that man all that money. They wanted him to win.
Well, they want them taxes down low, bro.
No, they want him to pass that tax cut because that tax cut expires and stuff in February of this year, next year. They want that tax cut to be re-upped. They want that tax cut to be re-upped. They don't want to have to do what Kamala, and get rid of that tax cut. They want to keep that tax cut, and they're paying him to keep it. And they're going to be paying a whole lot of representatives on the Republican side big money to keep that tax cut. Even if they have to cut Medicaid and a couple of other entitlement programs. They even talking about hitting Social Security. And they may do it. But these old folks gonna raise a boatload of hell to stop them. So anyway, final word, Theodore.
That was my final word.
There was. The stock market was your final word.
That was my final word, brother. Magnificent Seven.
Now,
Because see, I can remember.
Now, let's give a true meaning to one of the words that you just said. You said alphabet, and most ordinary folks out there, Ted, don't know who you're talking about. They're talking about Google.
Okay, all right.
But their name is Alphabet. You're right. It's Alphabet, but they're talking about Google.
But here's the thing, though, Ed. I can remember when 30 years ago, these companies, Microsoft was $29 a share.
That was longer than
Apple, $35 a share.
That was longer than 9 years. It's more than you got maybe 15 years ago.
What?
15 years ago, it was that price.
No.
Not 9.
No.
9 years ago. 9 years ago,
No.
Apple.
No.
9 years ago, Apple was $29 a share.
No.
I think you better go back and look.
9 years ago, they was hovering around 100.
Now right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I
said 30 years ago.
Oh, 30 years ago. I thought you said 9 years ago. Okay. You got it. Okay, I'm
30
fine.
Years ago.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
35.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Even Home Depot was cheap. All of these companies now. The thing is, and here's the thing. If you find a good company, you look at the IPOs, you know what an initial
public
offerings. Those things, man, if you got the time and just
or the money,
cost average.
Or the money.
No, you gotta have a whole lot of money. All you gotta do is invest a couple $100 a month.
Man, most people don't have a couple $100 a month to invest. I keep
trying
to tell you that.
What kind of people you hang around with? What are you talking about,
most of the folks don't have it. Most of the people that I'm talking to don't have
that. Don't be buying them extra shoes. Don't be buying them extra shoes.
But they're gonna buy them extra shoes. They're gonna buy them Nikes and Jordans and all that other stuff before they buy a piece of stock.
I'm just saying, to say that people don't have it, that's a lie, because it's not what you make, it's how much money you save. How much
they're not gonna save that. We have to be realistic. That's not gonna happen.
Well, it's just a matter of, here's the thing. It's just like what I was reading an article or listening to this guy, and he was saying that 20% of our GDP is from manufacturing. Most of our GDP is from sales. It's not from manufacturing, it's from sales.
Okay.
Well, we are consumers.
Right.
And we buy stuff.
A service industry.
Buy stuff. And so most people that work at any company, you have to be a salesperson. And the point is that consumerism is the reason why our GDP is so high. That's the reason why they want the money and people to keep working so that they can keep on doing what they do, because the GDP is based on that. It's not about manufacturing. Now, who has the biggest manufacturing stream of income? China. They're manufacturing everything. So the point is that if you're not making stuff, you have no products. And if China don't bring the products over that's already made or have to be assembled, not made, but assembled, because that's all they're doing at the car dealer, at the assembly line now. They're just assembling. They ain't making the engines. They ain't doing this. They ain't doing that. They're just taking it out the box, putting it in the machine. So the point is, we have to start manufacturing stuff.
We don't have to.
You say we don't have to. When you say we don't have to,
we are making do right now. Correct. We're one of.
What do you mean making do?
We're making do right now. Our country is 20%. You said manufacturing and 80% service.
Yeah.
And
that's the problem.
They are making it right now.
That's the problem, bro. See, that's the thing. People keep talking about we making do. Yeah, we're doing great. Right now, $24 trillion
so why,
in GDP.
Why bother with perfection?
It's not perfection.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
The stock market is the highest it's ever been. People are bringing in all kinds of money.
It's not
billions
perfection.
Of dollars. It's okay.
Because right now we got thousands and thousands of loads of boats of stuff from China that haven't even been unloaded.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. We got it. It's coming.
In China.
And the dollar is still strong. It's still the number one currency in the world.
Take it out of them boxes.
It's still the number one
take it to the stores
in the world.
What is wrong with this country?
We should be happy, Theodore. We should be happy. We should be happy.
What is wrong with this country? We're not making shit.
But we should be happy at where we at right now. We are doing good.
We gotta think long term, bro.
But we're doing good, Ted. Look at it. You just said it. The stock market is doing great.
We have all of this land all over Dakota and North Dakota, South. You trying to tell me we can't build manufacturing companies out there?
No, we can't do that. It's not feasible to do that.
Why not?
Because they can produce it and ship it and sell it cheaper than we can make it. That's why their manufacturing is overseas, it's not in our country, because they can do it cheaper than we can. Until you prove to these companies that we can make it here cheap and sell it cheaper than they can from these foreign countries, it's not going to work.
It's greed, bro. It's greed.
Okay. What's wrong with greed?
They ain't looking at prosperity, the long run prosperity, because China can cut your butt off at any time.
And fine. They don't care. They can find another country to do it. They got Vietnam. They got Thailand. They got all of other countries over there willing to do it. India, they willing to make it. They got all of countries willing to take over. As soon as China falters, and China knows it, there's some other countries who are ready to take over their business right now. They got Mexico willing to take it over right now. If we could, Ted, I'm telling you, if we could make it here in the United States cheaper than it would be to take it over there and bring it back, I believe that some of these companies and stuff would do it. They would do it. Not all of them. Some of them will. And they can bring it up. They can bring it up from 20% to maybe 40%. You'll never get to 50 or 60.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I don't know what to say, man. You got me. I've been playing with you. You know.
I know that. I know that. I know it. I know it. That's okay. I know that you've been an adversary.
Yep, I have to. I
but
have
the
to do
point
that. I have
is-
to do that.
But the point is, these people, I don't get it, man. You know, you want to be a billionaire because you can get products cheaper. It's crazy.
Ted, I'm telling you, man.
This is becoming a security issue, bro. It's a
Well,
security issue.
it,
It's a
I
security
don't.
issue, man, because we don't know what these people putting in our food. We don't know what these people are doing,
But
and they just
we,
trust these people. And then we
all
don't even know how long this stuff stay in all of these supply chains.
I understand exactly what you're saying, but I do know that if there's a problem in that supply chain logistically, someone in their infinite wisdom is going to change it. Almost like when the longshoremen took their strike about a month ago. They said, we're going to strike. We ain't bringing nothing in this country. And I'm telling you, Ted, it shook this place up. All them executives out there, it shook them
Just
up.
that little bit.
Just that little bit. It shook them up. But guess what? They bought that daggone president and put big money in his pocket to shut that thing down. He said, we ain't having this stuff, man. Get them people some few more dollars and stuff and tell them to kiss your butt. And that's what he did.
Let me tell
And they
you,
ended it.
if China decided not to ship those Christmas toys, this country will go crazy.
No, I believe that they will find something else to sell these kids and stuff for Christmas. They're gonna find something else to promote for Christmas. They're gonna get on there onto all these YouTube channels and TikToks and all that other stuff, and they're gonna try to force something else on these children. And they're gonna sit down there and whatever they got in the pipeline, they're gonna bring it over here. And guess what? They're gonna jack the price up as high as they can jack it up and make some money off of it. And these parents are going to say, baby girl, I can't afford it. You're going to have to pick something else out. You remember them Cabbage Patch dolls, don't you? Okay.
Bought a bunch of them.
Yes, sir. And they jacked them. People were standing in line to get them. Standing in line to get them. I mean, and they were paying big bucks for it. People were turning around selling them online to eBay and everything for 3 times what they were, and folks were buying it.
Elmo too.
Oh yeah, they had a bunch of stuff. They had these starter jackets. I remember trying to buy one. I couldn't afford it. My parents couldn't afford it. I had to get a starter too. Somebody hand me down. Anyway, people, it's been great talking to you guys. We are 7 minutes past the hour. 1 hour, and we're going on 8 minutes past the hour. So if you guys can't, there's a lot of stuff going on. We'll see you guys tomorrow, Friday, because today is Thursday, not Saturday.